It's a very windy day on the 8th of June 2025, and we are on what we hope to be a trip of a lifetime. We've got the Alpine A110 GT. We are on the ferry from Poole to Cherbourg, and hopefully, if all goes to plan, we're going to drive across France, hit Switzerland, through the Alps, down into Provence, and then across to the Pyrenees and up to Santander and back home again in about 3.5 weeks. Okay, so 8th of June, we're off the ferry, obviously. We're now on a French dual carriageway. Roads are really clear at the moment, at least. So we're on the way to our first hotel for the night, which is only 20 minutes away. So far, so good. This is the hotel for the first night. It's coming up 10 to 9. So let's have a look at this. Have a quick look at the map. Come on in. So, yesterday, Poole to Cherbourg, and then dual carriageway to this hotel here. Today we are going to stop off at Le Mans Museum, so we're going to go keep off the motorways, D roads through to Le Mans. Well, it took a bit of doing because we couldn't find the parking area, but we have made it to Le Mans and the museum that we're going to. And after Le Mans, probably, and we'll see how we're doing for time, but we'll go across and stay in at a hotel, small village, Sailly-Loire.
So this is my first drive in the Alpine in France. Well, this is my first drive in France, full stop. And it's lovely car to do this in. Lovely roads. Today we've had some really clear roads. Bit of hair-raising parking at Le Mans, but head driver did it. And so we're heading on to our next second accommodation now in this lovely straight road.
Okay, day 3. It's just gone 9 o'clock in the morning, so we are at Sailly-sur-Loire, a very nice hotel, Hotel Bergevin. Probably totally mispronounced that. Had a wander around the town last night. Very nice. Saw some interesting sort of giant rats down in the river. We still haven't worked out what they are, but we need to check into that and report back later. And as you can see from the video footage now, quite unusual. I've never seen them before, but anyway, I'll flash up on the screen what they are. Right, so today is a bit of a slog. It's all motorway to get us to Switzerland, so we're currently here, so south of Paris. We are basically going to follow the motorways, and we're at the mercy of the sat-nav really, but we are going to head across, and we are hitting Switzerland and staying for 3 nights here near the Grimsel and Furka passes. So plan is 400 miles today, stay 3 nights at a hotel in Switzerland, and then take it from there. So I don't think we'll do a lot of filming today because it's going to be just a sort of motorway slog. Need to go and get some petrol. Hopefully we can get some super unleaded. Yeah, so we will probably see you in Switzerland. We may do a couple of updates depending on how the day goes. But beautiful weather, decent night's sleep, and we will hit the road. See you soon. We've got 4 hours to go, and I'm sure the journey was about 7.5 hours, so we're probably halfway-ish. Car's doing great, sitting at 130 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit. I think that's about 80. We've chucked some fuel in it. It's averaging 39.5 to the gallon. It's dropped a little bit since we've been doing 130. Earlier we were seeing 40 plus. Yeah, so 194 miles to go. We'll have a few more stops en route, but yeah, I just want to get a bit of balance really, because generally I've been on cruise control all the time, and the roads are pretty quiet, as you can see. I mean, there's a couple of vans ahead of us, but I mean, it's, when I think back to the UK and what that's like, this is incredible. Well, we just missed filming it, but there was a magical little bit of road there. Put it in sport mode for the first time, revved it for the first time. Yeah, wow, it was great. So yes, hopefully more of that to come, but pops and bangs and entertainment all round. So happy days. So we're nearly at the hotel, and oh my god, have a look to the right if you're brave enough. That is views on views. So we are now 8 minutes away from the hotel, 3.2 miles to go. So I don't know how far we've driven actually. I think it's 430 miles, generally at a good run. Time now is 20 past 6, so I think we left the hotel at around 9:30 this morning. Plenty of snow up on the tops of the mountains. Unfortunately, we finished this marathon drive stuck behind a bus, doing about 15 miles an hour, but never mind. We are nearly here. Tomorrow's a rest day, so we're not driving at all tomorrow. And then, if all goes to plan, the day after, we're going to be doing the Grimsel Pass, Furka Pass, just driving for the sheer, hopefully, pleasure of it. The car's done fantastically well as a long-distance cruiser. It's averaged 40.2 miles to the gallon since we left home, and it's done, at this point, 736 miles. In total, the car's now done 1,223 miles, which is a little bit scary because we've only had it 4 weeks. Okay, so this is our room. We've just arrived. I personally can't remember the name of the hotel. What's it called? Ruti at Hazelberg. And the standout feature, if I can open the door. No, broken that. There. That is a pretty spectacular view. Outside seating. And that is a lovely bathroom. We've got a free train as part of the hotel package for Marangi to Interlaken. No, in a kitchen. Keep getting that name wrong. So we're having a quick run there. I don't think there's much there, but we're gonna take a look anyway. We just pulled up at the station, but we're. Oh, I see. We're underground. Okay, in a Kircher with the only two people that got off. Clearly this is not the place to come visit. So yeah, literally there were us two getting off the train here and one other person. This is the end of this line. So clearly there's not a lot here to see. Right, okay, let's get some perspective on where we are while I try not to crash at these roadworks. The time is about just gone 20 past 5. We are going to try to do, and I should say that's 20 past 5 in the morning, if that wasn't already obvious. We are heading to the big 3 Swiss passes this morning. We've got up very early to try to beat the traffic. So we'll see whether this plan works or not. Just as a side note for history, Jasper's not, we got a phone call late last night from our good friends that are kindly looking after our dog Jasper. He's not very well. We think it's vestibular again. So he's really struggling, so we really have not had much sleep. Thinking about the poor old JZ. So yeah, whether this is a good idea or a bad idea, I'm not quite sure at the minute, because I suspect we've had, I don't know, 3 hours sleep or something daft. Anyway, we're here, we might as well give it a shot. It's about half an hour drive to get from the hotel to the start of one of the passes. They were doing work, I think, last night or overnight on one of the tunnels, so that was due to open at 5 o'clock, so we're hoping, we're gambling everything really that has opened on time, otherwise we are not going to get very far. But anyway, we'll report back later. Change of plan. The Susten, and I'm mispronouncing pass, I'm going to call it that for now, it's still shut, so we had to turn around, come out of that. So we're now on the Grimsel. Time now is it's just gone 6 o'clock. It's still quite dark out really. Cows in action, bit of milking going on there, bit of feeding. But just taking it easy. I'm not breaking the speed limit. No need, no point. I'm not a race car driver. Don't pretend to be. Just enjoying a flowing road on one of the 3, for many people, great driving roads in Switzerland, and I guess potentially in the world. Car is fabulous. Yeah, it feels lighter. We haven't got the luggage in today. I mean, this is just a drive for the joy of driving, which doesn't happen very often these days. Look at that dam. I don't know if that's going to come out in the video. Is that a new one, or is that just... That's huge. I've gone very quiet because it is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, I keep saying that. Huge waterfall coming down that mountain there. Ears are popping. We're getting pretty high. Okay, we're doing a few manual changes now. Right. I hope some of this is coming out on the camera because it is incredible. We've done a few Alpine passes, but I think this is probably the most spectacular and most rugged. And I think it was worth the lack of sleep to get up early and just I think we are maybe getting to the top now. We'll ease off a little bit now as we're coming to some civilization. Wow, look at that view.
Oh my gosh, look at that. What's happened to the camera?
It's an absolutely stunning morning. The sun's come up. We are at the Grimsel Hotel, I think. The car with a snowy backdrop. Suzanne taking some photos. Love how that the snow goes into the water there. Incredible. And plenty of snow in the distance. So this camera's a bit too wide angle, so you're probably not getting that, but water's still frozen. Wow. I think this might be an Alpine. I think this might be us coming. It is. Yeah.
1.5 miles. Route 19, signs for Furka.
Oh, this is where Harry's garage video. This is where he couldn't get up that bit. Okay, we're now on the Furka Pass, I believe. That's where we just came along. So that's the Grimsel. You might see on the footage, while I was standing next to the car just now, a few cars came past, and one of those, Alpine A110. So we've done 700 miles in France and Switzerland, and that's the first one we've seen, and what a place to see it. And I thought I could hear the pops and bangs, and I thought that was an Alpine before I actually saw it, but absolutely fantastic. I don't know how many people have experienced an Alpine A110, but what a car, and I count myself very lucky for experiencing this. I mean, this is the sort of trip for us, and certainly for me, a trip of a lifetime. I mean, to do these passes in an Alpine, which we ran in, did over 1,200 miles across France, just taking it really gentle, never going above 3,000 RPM. I think the manual says don't go above 3,500. So, you know, we've treated it gently. I'm still not really giving it the full beans.
It's really comfortable.
Incredibly comfortable. I mean, we did.
Belvedere up there, I think.
Oh wow, yeah, Belvedere Hotel. Again, I don't know if you can see that in the video. Suzanne will try and shoot some with her phone. I mean, every day I've looked on Google Maps during the day, and there's traffic. This is quite often shown as yellow and red with the sheer volume of traffic. But right now at 7:05 on a Thursday morning, we have got the place to ourselves, and it honestly doesn't get any better than this. If you're into cars, I mean, it's just, if you're ever lucky enough to come here, then get up early, make the effort, because if you're as lucky as we've been here, it'll be worth the effort and the croaky voice and stinging eyes with 3 hours sleep. Yeah, if you.
Yeah, I'll do it on the next one round.
Wow, that's a hairpin. I wasn't going to film that much of this driving because I thought it would be traffic even at this time but man,
Lorries are bastards.
yeah, we've seen a few lorries, but I mean really just 3 or 4. It's at times like this I wish I was a better driver to exploit the full possibility of a car like this, but then it is a public road and I'm not speeding. Just, I guess, what you would call a spirited drive. The camera we're using, we only bought a few days before we left, so I've done no testing with this. So I just hope and pray, because we're banking on this footage being okay. Wow, waterfall.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Belvedere.
Google's pronunciation's probably worse than even mine, which is saying something. And there is the famous Belvedere Hotel.
Take the next left onto Belvedere, then your destination will be on the left.
So here we are, the Furka Pass. There's probably a huge amount of background noise, and that's because there's a waterfall which is very, very noisy. But that iconic shot, we are pretty much the only ones up here. It's just nuts. After all the agonising over what car to buy and ending up with a brand new one, 0% finance, 0% deposit, over 2 years, hard to resist, mass supplied, we find ourselves here. And as I've already said, if you're going to do this, get up early and just go for it, because you end up being the only ones here. So over in the distance, that lake and that road zigzagging up is the Grimsel. And obviously we've just been to the Belvedere Hotel. We've left the Belvedere, we're on the Furka pass. I didn't realise how narrow it was. The other thing that stands out is it's very rough and
not half as good.
yeah, not half as good. So Grimsel wins in that sense. I mean, definitely the Belvedere.
Half of the Furka was okay.
Yeah, the first
Up
half. Yeah,
to
actually,
up to the Belvedere.
Yeah, up to the Belvedere. Weirdly, Google Maps didn't even want me to come this way. So yeah, maybe I can see why. Wow, big waterfall. So very hazy now as well,
Yes.
as you can see. So incredible views, but wow. Yeah, very, very bouncy. I mean, not potholes, but just undulating and dips and I guess subsidence really. So yeah, this is not pleasant. This is more of a
What we've just done is so
yeah, I wouldn't recommend this in the same way. So maybe, Grimsel, Furka up to Belvedere, and then maybe Google was right. Oh, having said that, now it's widened out a bit, changed.
maybe that's work in progress.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
We are at the allegedly famous James Bond gold. I think it's GoldenEye. I'm probably wrong on that. I'm going to have to Google it. I'll flash up on the screen. It's very hazy now. The sun's come out. You can hear cow bells or goat bells in the distance. You can see the road going away. You join us on the Susten Pass. Yeah, so we've done this whole thing in reverse to what we'd originally planned, but I think that's worked out for us really, because the Belvedere Hotel, we got some fantastic photos. There was no one there, blue sky. I mean, just perfect. So we're still on this Susten Pass. We've just stopped
Finally, for a cup of tea.
for a cup of tea. I'm going to put the aircon on because it's very hot. Yeah, just had a talking to Callum and Jan about Jasper. He's still struggling, but we're pretty convinced it's vestibular. So hopefully the old boy will bounce back again, but he is getting, yeah. Yeah, he's an old boy, so, well, it's going to be whatever it's going to be. Okay, I thought it worth summarising just quickly where we've been today. So effectively our hotel's here. You can't see on this map, but we have to drive down and round to get to Marangin, probably butchered that name. And then we followed the Grimsel Pass, which just slightly goes off the map. Then onto the Furka Pass, which is there, and then back round and back home. So in total, we did 100 miles. Barely anyone in front of us, as you can see from the video. The roads, I mean, getting up that time, leaving that time was well worth it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The car was faultless, really. I mean, it just spectacular. Good morning. It is Friday of the first week. We are leaving our hotel in Hazelberg Ruti. We spent 3 nights there. Really, really nice hotel. Parking was great for the car. So we are heading to Chamonix, back in France, but we're going back up the Grimsel Pass today because it's the funnest way. It's not the quickest way, but it's the funnest way to get there. But the time now is 8:25. It takes us about half an hour to get to the start of the Grimsel from where we've been staying. So a little bit of a journey to get there. It's Friday of the first week of our trip of a lifetime, and so far it's been absolutely fantastic. And we're at the top of the Grimsel Pass, and sometimes you just have to take stock. I've daydreamed about a trip like this for years and years and years, and I've watched far too many YouTube videos of Harry's Garage and Sam from Seen Through Glass, and they make it look easy. And you know, these sort of trips, and I guess in some ways it is easy once you do it, but you can talk yourself out of it, and I've gone round and round in my head. But now we're here, and we're at the top of the Grimsel, and we came out yesterday very early, as you would have seen in the video, and it was just magical. And today's another magical day. We've completely lucked out with the weather. I mean, it's warm, there's snow around, we've got blue skies. I mean, it's just what you daydream of, but you don't think is ever going to happen. So yeah, just a moment to take stock, take in the views. We're off to Chamonix now. It's going to take us a little while to get there, but yeah, I think the last couple of days have just been incredible. Very, very lucky. Yeah, so hopefully the rest of the holidays is good. It's got a lot to live up to now. I think we may have peaked already, no pun intended, being at the top of the Grimsel, but yeah, and just the views. I mean, the views on views on views. It's just amazing wherever you look, and you take photographs, and it just doesn't seem to do it justice. The scale of the mountains, and it's hard to put into words. I'm not great at this stuff, but the Alpine as well, and again, I don't want to jinx it, but it's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's small. We were parked next to a Ferrari earlier on, I think an F8. My Ferrari knowledge is not great on the modern stuff, but and it looked huge in comparison. And the Alpine being small, it's just been wonderful because you don't have those worries about fitting down small lanes. It fits pretty much everywhere in today's world of huge SUVs. It's absolutely tiny. It's tiny compared to everything in the modern world, at least. And it hasn't put a foot wrong so far. It's fabulous to drive, economical. I mean, it's everything you want from a sports car, really. And we've done some really long trips in it. We did 435 miles in a day. And I mean, I can't think of another car really, other than maybe a Porsche Boxster Cayman, but yeah, I like being a little bit different, so the Alpine ticks all those boxes. So yeah, take it all in, and we'll see what the rest of the day brings, and we'll have another blast down the other side of the Grimsel. And I think for now that'll probably be the end of the incredible driving roads until maybe we get to the Pyrenees, and I'm not sure what to expect there. But anyway, we'll cover that in a later part of the video. So, onward. Still en route to Chamonix, but we've got some interesting roads now, so we're in full manual mode. We're halfway up Mont Blanc. Cable car is just arriving, and we'll see what the views are like from the very top. But yeah, excited. Heading towards the top. It's definitely windy. Still got to go up there. Very much at the top of Mont Blanc. or looking at Mont Blanc, I should say.
3,842 metres high. Crikey.
So a little bit cloudy, and as I say, the top of Mont Blanc has now disappeared into the cloud, but we're at the top viewing area, but there's a lower one down there, and I'm not sure whether this has come up with this wide-angle lens, but there are people trekking down there. They look like ants in the distance. There's also people sitting on top of that rock outcrop, which is pretty scary. So just for posterity, I should say, there's approximately a 40-minute wait to go into the glass box. And that is at just gone 11:30, but you get a good view while you're waiting. So we've come down a level. We're on the sort of second highest platform. It's a little bit quieter here actually, and
it's really quiet, isn't it?
It's nice. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Amazing.
You can hear the snow melting. Quite how the hell they built this. It's quite mind-bending. So it's been an incredible journey so far. This is one of the highlights, I guess. Well, it is one of the highlights of the trip.
We're going down.
Quick update, we've left Chamonix after going up Mont Blanc this morning. Just for historical records, it is Saturday, still the first week. So we're heading towards Annecy now. We're staying there for a couple of nights in an Airbnb. We've decided to take the scenic route, looking at the Michelin map, which we'll have a look at later on. We've gone cross-country rather than the motorway, which would have been a lot quicker, but we just thought there's no particular rush, and we've got some nice scenery. Okay, it's Sunday, so we've now been here we're travelling for a week. We're in Annecy. We arrived last night. So it's probably worth just a quick recap of where we've been travelling. So we'll start with Switzerland, just to recap where we were on Friday. So we were at the hotel for 3 nights. We obviously already seen the fact that we did the big 3 Alpine passes. So on Friday when we left, we went back down the Grimsel pass. Down the Grimsel and then onto the Furka, and then basically this was just a bit of a slog, not particularly picturesque through the valley, a lot of industrial area basically. We were going to stop at a car museum, but in the end we didn't really have enough time because we spent quite a while up at the top of the Grimsel Pass, which was just natural beauty and worth investing the time there. So we then on Friday night stayed in Chamonix, which we'd never been to before. Quite picturesque, pretty busy, quite a hip, young, sort of vibrant town, I guess you could call it. Obviously a big ski resort in the winter. So on Saturday morning we went up the cable car to the viewing area overlooking Mont Blanc. So we went from 2 degrees temperature up there back into Chamonix where it was 33. Quite remarkable, that temperature difference. And then we set off yesterday from Chamonix to Annecy, and we avoided the toll roads and we took the D909, which was quite picturesque. So we cut through the middle, and as you can see on this Michelin map, a lot of that's highlighted green, which just emphasises the fact there's some decent scenery there. So that took us a couple of hours. Came into Annecy Around sort of 4 or 5 o'clock last night, pretty busy end of a animation event, so sort of Disney style animation. So I think that had been running for a number of days and it was still going on last night. So pretty hectic. So we're here for 2 nights in Annecy, and then tomorrow we are off to Gordes. Haven't quite worked out the route yet. I think most of it's going to be motorway, so it's going to be pretty tedious. I might try and cut across because there look some very interesting roads through the middle, but I guess we'll see how we're getting on with time as to whether that's a viable option. And then we spend a week in Gordes, so at that point we're going to probably not do that much videoing. We're going to chill out for a while because we've done 1,000 miles at this point on this trip. So we're going to have a wander around Annecy now. We've got rain and thunderstorms forecast, so whether that's actually going to happen or not, hopefully it won't, but currently we're getting pretty wet, although we're sheltering undercover.
And we haven't got a brolly.
We haven't got a brolly.
That's back in the house.
Yeah, because we're really smart like that. It's Monday on week 2. We've left Annecy and we're heading towards Gordes, which is where we're going to be staying for a week. It's all motorway really. There's no way of particularly avoiding it. But we've had our first big stone chip, or certainly the first one that we know about. Big bang. It's chipped the windscreen and it sort of grazed the paintwork. Yeah, up there somewhere, right on the edge of the windscreen. So a couple of bits of glass have come off, tiny little shards which I've pulled off. We pulled over and I'm not sure, I mean it's grazed the paintwork, but I'm not sure it's gone under the undercoat. Hopefully it hasn't. We're going to have to touch that up. So it's going to be interesting now to see whether the windscreen cracks or not. Hopefully it doesn't, because that will be very annoying. Everything's crossed. And for historical purposes, I'm just going to do feel like I've got the lurgy coming because I've got a funny throat. But hopefully that's just, don't know, hopefully it's nothing. Right, we've just arrived in Gordes, and we're going to do an MTV style cribs walk around. So let's go and see what we've got. Nice car. So outside space, parking obviously for the Alpine A110 GT. And this really is a bit showy off here, so I apologise. There's some space down there, won't even bother showing you that. Obviously sliding gates. We've got the swimming pool, should have taken the cover off it. And then we've got a shaded seating area with ping pong, a few comfy chairs. Then it's this whole building, which is rather grand. So another covered seating area here. And we'll do the reverse view. That's the garden, so we'll go in the front door. Okay. Welcome to our home for the whole of the next week. So, large kitchen. Stating the obvious here, this is like an estate agent showing you around. Laundry room. And then it's quite a walk, so you can step outside there, or we can go to the lounge. Downstairs toilet there, won't bother showing you in there. A couple of bags that we've dropped off. Main lounge. TV. Back out to the view. And then we've got the first of 3 bedrooms. This one's sort of laid out quite nicely. You can walk straight out into the garden. And then we've got, should have turned these lights on first, bathroom, whole wet room there. Then we're back through the lounge, then up the stairs, which is sort of a vaulted ceiling. Another bathroom here, not even looked at this. Shower, second bedroom, massive timbers, can't really get the scale of those probably on film. And then a view out, and third bedroom with another bathroom. That's the MTV crib style guided tour of this incredibly huge house. Now, so we've not filmed for probably heading towards a week because we've been staying at the villa and just sort of chilling. But for reference, the time now is about 7 o'clock. Just got to overtake this lorry. We got up at 4:30 this morning doing one of our early morning dashes. So we left the villa about 5:30. We're driving about 150 miles and we're just over halfway there. We're going to what's become a cars and coffee event, although originally I think it was going to be a podcast recording of Behind the Glass. Sam and Tony, so Sam from the channel Seen Through Glass and Tony from Gravelwood Cars House. So we got tickets for that event, which starts at 10 o'clock in Vance. So we thought we'd get up early to make sure that we get there on time. At the moment we're due to get there at 8:15, so and the event starts at 10. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like. It's only a couple of hours, so it's a 300-mile round trip, so it's a bit of a marathon really, but thought we'd give it a go. Okay, so we've been to the Behind the Glass Cars and Coffee event. I'll throw up a couple of pictures now of me and what could be described as slight celebrities in the YouTube world. Bit of tunnel action. We are now heading back to Gordes. Lovely chatting to Sam, had a couple of different conversations with him. Super friendly. Yeah, very nice guy. Got to see his 360 Stradale, I think I've got the right name, following its repaint, and hearing about all the snagging issues that have got to be sorted out there. I think there was 27 on his list, and he pointed out quite a few of them, and quite a shocking job really in some ways in terms of the quality of how he's got that back, considering who he is and the profile. Tony was Tony, didn't speak too much to him and he kept himself to himself, quite frankly, but great to see some interesting cars in that storage facility. Even though it's called a museum, it's not open to the public, and they are private cars. So anyway, we are now heading back. As I say, we're going cross country. We've got about 140 miles to go. we're about 40 miles in on the journey back from Behind the Glass coffee meet. We're now on the route Napoleon, which we've driven in the other direction probably 13 years ago when we had the Aston Martin Vantage, which does feel like a lifetime ago.
Au cri des marchands de glace, vous avez vu? Non mais t'as vu ce qui passe? Je le feuilleton à la place. Oh oh perdu l'amour. Bon les jeunes racontent bon chien. Et la tranchée vient d'être peinte.
So it's Monday on the third week, so time is flying. This is another bit of a motorway slog day, so we've left Gordes this morning and we're heading to Corleo on the coast. We've got 67 miles to go. I think from memory it was about 230 miles. We've done part of it cross country, which again didn't prove to be, scenery wasn't great, and plenty of tractors and other slow moving things. Now we're, as you can see, on a motorway on a toll road. We've been WhatsApped by the accommodation. It's an Airbnb for 2 nights, so it's all ready for us to get in.
Well, we can't actually get out of the property because we think he's delivering that digger. Something else at the front trying to get out. The guy just told us 5 to 10 minutes, so...
Okay, so this is the bit that we turn off onto the 260A. Friday on the third week, and we're in Spain. We're heading towards Andorra today. We haven't done a great deal of filming, just been on some absolutely incredible passes, I guess you would call it. It's on the N260, if I remember rightly. Again, I'll flash up on the screen if I got it wrong, but just incredible. Mile after mile after mile with no one in front of us. So Andorra Car Museum, so we'll have a quick look at that, and then we're staying in Andorra tonight, and then we carry on the journey heading towards Santander, really. There's some petrol coming up, great big speed bump. Whoa. Thank God this car's got ground clearance, because some of the speed bumps I'm sure would have taken the front splitter off many cars.
Welcome to Spain, España. We've just left Andorra and on our way to the next accommodation, heading towards Santander, but not today. and it's very hot. It is
28.
28. Look at that place out there.
Okay, I'm in the passenger seat for a change, and we've left Andorra and we're heading to our hotel for tonight, which is sort of in the middle of nowhere, but we're on the N260 through the Pyrenees, or across the Pyrenees. Keep saying through, but I guess we're going across. And we need to stop for a drink, really, and a comfort break, but we haven't really seen anywhere. There's a few little villages that we're going through, but they've literally got 3 or 4 houses, and that's about it. Saw some Brits just now, had a quick chat with them. They were in a Porsche Boxster, or the Spider RS. Looked pretty cool. So we had a quick catch up with them. And yeah, it's quite a short journey today from Andorra. I think it was about 60 or 70 miles to the hotel. Beautiful roads yet again, quiet. Coming out of Andorra, they did want to see the passports. Didn't seem to stamp them, but we've done 2,159 miles so far on this trip. Car's done more miles than that, but that's what we've done since we left home. Hello, it's Sunday on the 3rd week, so today is, we've been away for 3 weeks at this point. We're on the N260. We've just left our hotel. We really didn't get a lot of sleep last night because it was very noisy with people playing instruments and generally being loud until 1, 2 o'clock this morning. We've been driving for quite a while. Not a car in front of us. Well, there was one van which we overtook, but that's been it. So we're on the way to Jaca, or Jaca, if you pronounce it, which is going to be interesting because it's in the accommodation that we're going to be in for the next 3 nights. Is in a sort of pedestrianised centre of the town. So it seems like we've got to phone the police up to actually get a barrier lowered so we can go into the residential area. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Whoa, slow that down. Yeah, how easy it's going to be to get in. But anyway, so I need to savour these roads right now because, as I say, this is the last day, I think, of decent roads. When we leave Jaca, we go to one other hotel, and I think it's a motorway, really, just getting us near Santander for the ferry home. But we've got hairpin after hairpin. Quite narrow, but as you can see, there is a white line, so I mean, it's manageable. I'm in manual on the gearbox, which gives me a bit more involvement, which I like. And just for historical purposes, we are on 2,207 miles on this trip, and the car's done 2,713. Welcome to Monday on week 4. So we haven't done a map summary for quite a while, so come on in wherever, have a look. We're in an apartment for 3 days, but I'll explain where we are in a second. So we left, or we stayed in Cooley for a couple of nights, left there, and then followed the N260 along the coast, which was pretty stunning, came inland on the N260, and then stayed in quite a nice hotel for a couple of nights. Left there, and headed to Andorra, and the plan was to go to the car museum on the Friday. So again, followed the N260 Got into Andorra, car museum was shut, which was somewhat annoying. So anyway, carried in Andorra and then stayed in a hotel, Rockmella, for one night. Then on Saturday morning went back to the car museum, which was open, thankfully. Had a look around there, and then left Andorra, went through passport control, and then again followed the N216. You can see from the good old Michelin map that there's lots of green on here. The roads were stunning. Ended up in a hotel in the middle of nowhere. Left that hotel, carried on along the N216. Again, you can see it's all green, and we did about 100 miles to Jaca or Jaca, still not quite sure how it's pronounced. And we're here in this beautiful apartment for 3 nights, right in the middle of town. So this is the challenge we had yesterday, because we arrived in the car to this point, and our residency is in a pedestrianised area, so you've got to get this bollard to come down. There's a camera there, didn't read our number plate, so in the end we had to phone the police, who didn't speak English. So there was a lot of ers and ums, and me speaking very slowly in English, which didn't help at all. Finally, they dropped the post, and we were able to come in, and then we travelled down this residential street to where we're actually staying. So a little bit of a stress point, but I mean, we did it. We've seen other cars turn up, and the post just dropped. So I guess it's reading the number plate of their vehicle, because they live here, and it drops and rises up pretty quick. So we're here for 3 nights. We're leaving from Santander over here, so rather than do that in one day, we're staying in a hotel over here just to sort of break the bulk of that journey, so that on Thursday we drive to Santander, get the ferry, and back home on Friday if all goes to plan. So this is the street that we are staying in. This is the accommodation. It's if you go on Street View, this doesn't actually exist. The last time they did a Street View photography session. We are on the 3rd floor of this new building, and then that big door is the underground car park, which is two floors down. Highly recommend these apartments. They are fantastic. That's where we are. So I think we might go for a wander in a minute, try and find a bridge over a river, but it looks like it's about a 20-25 minute walk, and it is scorching hot. I don't know what the temperature is, but mid-30s I would have thought today. We've had it higher. I think 42 was the highest we've had. So we are on our last day. We're heading to Santander, and rather than go on the motorway, we're coming across country, and so far that's really paid off, because we've had some great roads, no traffic again. We're up in the hills. That's the first big vehicle we've seen. Yeah, first vehicle we've seen. Probably a reasonable time to summarise, and certainly summarise the car, which is really what this whole holiday has been about. So on this trip, since we left home, we've done 2,530 miles. As I say, we've got 68 miles to go, and then whatever we've got in the UK to get back. The car has clicked over 3,016 miles in total since we bought this thing. And we've done that distance in about 7 weeks of ownership, which, you know, I think it's pretty impressive. So let's talk about likes and dislikes of this car. We'll start with dislikes, and this is the hard bit really, because there really aren't too many. The pops and bangs in sport mode, I'm never quite sure about it. I liked it to start with, but now I've started to feel it's a little bit contrived. I like sport mode, it holds it in gear a bit longer, throttle response is better. The pops and bangs, in the right circumstance, it's fine, but I'm nitpicking. Yeah, so checking the oil or any of the fluids really. It's a bit of a rigmarole. You've got to undo the 3 bolts. I think we've shown this earlier on the video. Get the cover off. Again, I'm being picky, but it's not as easy as perhaps it could have been if they'd done a latch on the rear glass window rather than the 3 bolts, and made it maybe slightly easier to get that engine cover off.
It's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world. There's not really been any squeaks and rattles. I thought my chair was squeaking a bit. In fact, you might even hear it squeaking in some of the earlier videos. I had a lumbar cushion shoved behind the seat. I'd convinced myself it wasn't that was causing the seat to squeak, because I did move it a couple of times, but I didn't actually take it fully out. Well, it turns out it was that. I think the seat does still squeak a little tiny bit, but not really. So, I mean, it's been incredibly rock solid in that regard, so that's fantastic. So, things that we like. I mean, generally, I love the car. I love the small size. I mean, that's come up a number of times on this trip. I was just thankful how small the car is. Some of the narrower roads, it just fits down there. But it's small, but we've got room. I mean, I'm 6'3", and we've been in this car a lot. 68 hours is what we estimate. And, you know, I've got leg room. I've got headroom. It's just comfortable. It's got decent ground clearance. We haven't ground the bottom on anything. Speed bumps don't worry it. It's just a very usable Grand Tourer, and obviously this is the GT spec car, but just fabulous. The gearbox, brilliant. On the right roads, put it into manual mode. It does a blinding job. Yeah, just everything about this car we like. Very few dislikes that we've already talked about. So the noise from the engine, if I could improve one thing, it would be that I miss a V8 V12 sound, but I think it does a good job for a 4-cylinder 1.8. I think the noise that it makes is as good as I've heard on any 4-pot car. But yeah, in the ideal world, a V8 V12 soundtrack would be brilliant. But again, you know, it's not a V8 or V12, obviously, and that's why we've averaged 36.6 miles to the gallon. Our average speed, well, this probably says more about me as a slow driver. Our average speed is 35.2 miles an hour. And I guess, you know, we've done all cross country really, very few motorways. Most of it's cross country, all through towns and villages. It's 30 kilometers an hour. you know, we've been trying to keep to the speed limit. I'm not into speeding for the sake of speeding. There's no need. We're on a grand tour. So yeah, I mean, overall, the fuel consumption, we've been putting super unleaded in. I did wonder if the fuel consumption would be higher, but I think because it's all been cross-country, really. I guess that explains why the fuel consumption is not perhaps as high as I thought it was going to be, but it's still pretty impressive for a 300 brake horsepower sports car. So here we are on a very windy Santander to Plymouth ferry back home. Can't quite believe how quickly this has gone, and the ship is wobbling a bit, as you can see. It's nearly 4 weeks, incredible trip. I don't think it could have gone any better, really. All the hotels, the driving, the car, everything was as perfect as it gets with such short notice in terms of the amount of time we had to organise everything. We're on this boat overnight, so we got a cabin, and we arrive 11 o'clock, I think, tomorrow, so Friday, not sure of the date, early July. So yeah, just shy of 4 weeks and an amazing trip. And, yeah. Have to start planning the next one.